I was raised in a violent alcoholic home. It was a very scary place to grow up. There was a lot of trauma. I went to church on Sundays with my mom until I was 13, and then she allowed each one of the 5 of us to make that decision to no longer go to church. And I couldn't wait to get out. I was a runaway as a child, and as an adult, I kept running. He was an artist, and I was doing a lot of freelance work, and we would talk about all different things in life. And one of the topics that always came up was God. And he would ask me why I didn't believe in God, and I would tell him why, because I was pretty certain I was going to hell, and I had never seen God as a good God. And he helped me by asking me, if God could be anything, who would God be to you? And it was almost like a homework project. And so I started to journal what God would be. He would be loving and kind, protector, wise, all the positive attributes you could imagine. I moved to California, Northern California. One thing led to another, and I ended up working at this really fun studio. And while I was there was a woman, and one day she said, hey, do you want to come to my Bible study tonight? We're not going to talk about the Bible. I'm going to make my fondue, and we're going to watch a movie. I never went to her Bible study as a Bible study. I would go to all of the socials, and I always felt uncomfortable because I felt like they knew something I didn't, and they were all put together, and I was a mess inside. I knew that I needed to get involved in a church. And so I said to my husband, when we get to Oregon, I'd really like to find a church. And he said, okay. So I thought, wow, that was easy. And we got to Oregon, and we found a sweet little home, and we found the nearest church, and the church was amazing. I was still struggling with Jesus. I just could not accept Jesus. I went to my pastor, and I explained to him what my dilemma was. And he said, I want you to go home, and I want you to read John. And during the process of reading John, I came to believe. It was a slow process, slow from the very beginning with my friends in Miami, to my friend in San Francisco, to being in Oregon and part of a church. It was a slow process. I had always prayed for a burning bush, and I didn't get a burning bush. I got something more tangible and more suited to my heart. It had to be slow. It had to be relational, and I had all of these relationships in my life that I cherished, that had faith, and it was through their example and their patience that I finally came to accept Jesus.